Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of What I Watched This Week. And what I watched this week was, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what the name of the movie is called. I think it's Home Team. It's the movie based on Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints, and the time that he got in trouble for paying players to hurt other players. Bountygate, y'all remember that? That's a good premise for a movie, right? Yeah, Happy Madison's production. There you go. And the other one I'm going to talk about is the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Wes Anderson film starring Bill Murray. You know, if you've seen it, surely. If you haven't, you should. It's pretty good. But let's talk about Home Team first, because I'm sure that's what a lot of people want to hear about, and hear about how terrible it is, which it is. And I'm going to talk about the whole movie. Bits and pieces, so I'll say spoilers. If you want to see Home Team, don't watch anymore. Go watch it first and then come back. But I don't recommend it. I give it like a 4 out of 10. It's fine. It's just watch The Little Giants. There's other football movies with kids in it that are done better and that are more fun than this one. This one's just kind of, it is what it is. I will say that it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but that's not a good thing, you know. Kevin James is kind of boring in it. The kids are the best part. Like, the kid actors they have and they picked for this movie, they are really good. They have some fun stuff. All the football, there's a lot of football stuff in the movie, so that's good. But other than that, all the comedy is kind of bad. There's one part that made me laugh really hard when one of the bus driver, I don't even know who he was, but I like that actor who plays him, but he's funny. He has like this one little like part dialogue of where he I don't even remember what he says, but it made me laugh. That's the only part that really got me to laugh. Everything else just kind of blah. Sorry. And you know, I'm off the cuff here. This is more of a podcast type format where I don't cut. I just kind of ramble and talk about it. So yeah, sadly, what I enjoyed most in this movie was there is the Fun song. And you know what I mean by the Fun song? There's a band, I think their name is called Fun, and they have a song called Tonight We Are Young. Tonight, you know it. And they have a part where they sing the song. I thought that was fun. I sang along. They bring it back at the end, and they have the scoreboard and all that thing. That was fun. So I liked the ending, and I like all the stuff with the kids because they feel pretty natural. As they feel like some real life kids. They're not swearing and everything like, you know, realistic kids would do, but still they feel like they're like the good kids. You know what I mean? They do some fun stuff in the movie. The son actor, because Sean Payton has a son in real life, and when this happened to him, when he got suspended for 1 year, he came back, and I guess to his hometown, he spent more time with the son. The son actor in this is really good. I don't know who that actor is, but he should be in more things, because I think his was my favorite performance of the movie, because I wasn't expecting such a good performance from a young actor in an Adam Sandler Happy Madison's production movie with Kevin James acting opposite Kevin James, and the little kid just absolutely kills it and puts Kevin I almost said Kevin Hart, Kevin James to shame. So that's a highlight. What's his name? Rob Schneider's also in this, and he plays like a vegan, and that's just cringe. It's just a cringe fest. And Adam Sandler's wife is in it. She's like in all the Netflix movies. Adam Sandler's daughter is in it, and she has like one speaking line, I should say. But you can tell it's him. You can tell it's her daughter. It looks just like him and his wife mixed together. And I don't know why the wife is in everything. She's not terrible. I mean, she's not funny, and she's not a good actor. So like, I don't know what. I mean, she's Adam Sandler's wife, so she gets in the movies, but there's nothing particularly good about her in any way. I mean, not to be mean or rude to anybody, but it is what it is, I guess. She's in that other one, that the Wrong Missy movie. She plays like the president of the company or something. She's in that movie. She's like in all of the Adam Sandler straight to Netflix movies. And that's got to be just because that's his wife. But as you can tell, I'm not too enthused about this. I'm doing this video super late. Not super late for me when I usually record these videos. Because I wanted to talk about it because I saw it. And I have a show where I talk about the movies that I see. But it wasn't good enough for me to really have a lot of good things to say. And it wasn't so shitty that I can just shit on it. It's just what it is. I wouldn't recommend it. If you like, I don't know what you get out of it. I mean, you get like there's some father-son relationship stuff, but the Sean Payton, like that, what he did was a fucked up thing, and I don't know how you really make this like a feel-good movie. You know, like people were getting money to hurt other people in the football game. It's pretty fucked up, and that's what the premise of our movie. They don't ever say specifically that he did it or was responsible for it, and I don't think that ever really came out if that was the case or not, that he was solely responsible, but whatever. Behind the scenes stuff, irrelevant. They still decided to make this, and at the very end, Sean Payton has a cameo where he is a janitor, and he's cleaning out the office, and I gotta say that it looks like they really get to go to the New Orleans Saints Mercedes-Benz Stadium and like film his office, because it looks like a legit nice fancy office. I was like, damn, this looks really good. Yeah, I mean, as far as filmmaking, like camera movements or whatever, I mean, it's pretty standard of what you'd expect from an Adam Sandler film. The football stuff is shot fairly competent. Like, it looks okay. There's a lot of when they're playing and running, you know, it's like, okay, this is definitely a nice way to shoot football. It's not like horribly done or anything. It's not noticeably bad, so that doesn't ever take you out of it. Now I'm just grasping at straws of things to say about this movie. I think we'll just leave it at that. Skip it. Not terrible, not good. Kevin Hart, I watched it because it's hilarious that Kevin Hart is playing Sean Payton when he looks nothing like Sean Payton, especially whenever he was younger, because he was so skinny. Now Sean Payton's a little bigger. You see him in the cameo, he's a little bigger. He looks more like Kevin James now than he did back then when this whole thing happened. So the movie looked like a joke when the trailer came out, and it turned out to be, it's whatever. So let's move on to something better, shall we? The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. So, I'll be honest with you. Cards on the table here. I had tried to watch this movie once before. Because I was really I was getting big into Wes Anderson movies. The first movie of his I ever watched, I think, was A Grand Budapest Hotel. Because I was starting to get into this back in 2015. I was really starting to get into movies and talking about movies and reviewing movies, and so I was watching a lot of movies around that time. And I saw the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I was like, man, this is really interesting and quirky, and well filmed, well executed shots, like good characters. Like, there's so much whimsy and everything in his work in that movie, and I was like, all right, cool. So I went back and watched some other movies of his. I watched Rushmore, and I think I was trying to watch. I just said I watched movies of his. I think I might have only watched. Oh, I watched Moonrise Kingdom, watched Rushmore, and I think I was gonna start watching this one, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Yeah, because I love Bill Murray. Lost in Translation is one of my favorite films. So I was like, all right, cool. I started to watch it, and I couldn't get past the opening scene with them at the theater when you watch his documentary where his friend Esteban dies. That's not a spoiler. It's in the first movie, but I'm going to spoil it from here on out. I'll give it like I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think I liked it more than people seem to like it. The reception seemed kind of mixed from what I could see, but on IMDb it's pretty highly rated. It's like 7.6, which is one of the higher IMDb scores for his films. But when I was looking it up, people said they were mixed on it, with the fact that now it's getting a little bit more recognition, I suppose, more praise than it did back then. It's cult film kind of situation going on. But so yeah, I was bored and I didn't know where it was going. I was like, and I just lost interest, and I was probably tired, and I just stopped watching it. And so I went back, and I had the same exact feeling this time. But I pushed through, got past that part, and then it was about the time where they started showing the whole boat with the set, and it shows all of the different rooms in the boat, and it's so awesomely shot, and the props. I love the props in this movie. You can't say enough about like the aesthetic, the props, and the overall vision camera work for this film is really great. And the style, it has so much style. I mean, if you want style, you watch Wes Anderson movies. And people say it's overdone. Like the French Dispatch came out, which is his brand new one, and people say they Wes Anderson cranks up the Wes Andersonness with the parallel shots. What do you call that? When there's like, the symmetrical shots and all the goofy, whimsical stuff, and yeah, the costumes. I think this movie is that sweet spot of when he started to have this distinct look and style to his films, but it's not overdone to where it looks like a parody of his own work. It rides that balance, and it rides the line. It finds that balance to where it looks great, but it's not like out of this world nuttiness. I mean, it kind of gets there though. I mean, there's a lot of cool stop motion animals and little fish and stuff like that. But like I was saying, when I got up to that point of them showing the boat and the props and everything, I was like, all right, I'm getting more invested. And it's kind of a slow movie. I would say that's probably the first quarter. The first quarter of the movie is, I mean, I don't know what it is about that scene. It's setting up a whole lot of things. It sets up the relationship with his wife and his rival. Esteban's dead, his new journey. It's a lot of setup stuff. So it shouldn't be as dull as it is, but it's just dull to me. But once that's all out of the way, the second, the next quarter of the movie is a little bit better, but still not there quite yet where I'm so invested. But then what happens with the pirates, when they get raided by the pirates in uninhabited waters or unprotected waters, then the level of enjoyment goes up a whole lot. There's something actually happening, and they have to go rescue the tax guy, and he gets the sea eyes and he shoots at the pirates, and stuff starts going crazy and wacky. And Owen Wilson is great. Kate Beck. Wait. Dang it. What's her name? Fuck. Whatever. Sorry. Kate Blanchett, I think, is her name. She does a good job. Of course, you got that iconic Willem Dafoe playing like a Russian. I think he's Russian. I've only saw this once, guys, so please don't freak out on me. But he has some great lines, great performance. Very different for what you would, Willem Dafoe is so great. He's just great. And yeah, Bill Murray in this movie is Michael Scott. That's my theory. He should have been on The Office as Michael Scott's dad. They should have had an episode where you see Michael Scott's dad, and it's Bill Murray, and he's playing this exact character from this movie. Because I feel like that's just kind of who he is in this movie. He's smart, you can tell. He's endearing, but he's also like blissfully ignorant and can't take hints, can't take social cues. He has that little bit of arrogance to him that Michael Scott has, but he's also like a lovable idiot. And he plays it so well, and it's a great distinct character for Bill Murray to have, because it doesn't feel like just Bill Murray. It feels like he is Steve Zissou, and this is who he is, you know. And he's Michael Scott. And I think this was right before or right around the time The Office came out. But I just got that vibe so hard, and I couldn't get away from it. Couldn't get it out of my head, and it just stuck with me. And I was like, okay, but it's fine because it works. It's a great character. Like Bill Murray in Lost in Translation just basically plays Bill Murray, right? Which is great, and that performance is lovely, and I love it. But this feels like a distinct character, and I really like that, and I'm really glad that he was able to pull that performance off. So set design, props, it's all around fantastic. Like, this is what movies are. Enjoyable. The music is so great. I'm so blown away and glad that they were able to do this, like Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie, acoustic music with this guy playing the guitar. It worked really well, and it gives the movie such a distinct soundtrack and a distinct feel in certain moments when there's just, you know, guitar playing, and I love the way it was incorporated in the film. So yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. I don't bump it down for the beginning. I probably should, just because it's so hard to get through that first part. But this is a movie I can see myself rewatching. There's so many funny nuggets. There's so many funny lines. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum plays his rival. I think the funniest parts are just their dialogue, but the way they say it, you know, and then they're probably prompted to say it a certain way or emphasize it a certain way. But Jeff Goldblum he says some crooked fuckers, and I don't know why it's so funny to me, but the way he says it cracks me up. Some crooked fuckers broke into our station and stole our shit. He doesn't say that, but man, just look it up. Just type in crooked fuckers into Steve Zissou, and it's funny. There's those, and you know, guys, there's certain things in movies like that where you have those where some things just crack you up and you don't know why. Let me know if you've seen the movie and you like that part. Just that one line where he says crooked fuckers. Ah, gosh. Okay, well, it's past my bedtime, and it's 7:21. So that's all I got for you. There's 2 movie reviews. Those are what I watched this week. Spoiler alert, I also watched, for upcoming movies in a couple months, I watched The Crimes of Grindelwald and Fantastic Beasts. So yeah, I'll have thoughts on those when the newest one comes out, and we'll do a 3-fer. I'll talk about all 3. Hey, and no joking, the outcome might surprise you of which ones I like the most and what I like the best, and things I like, things I don't like. So yeah, all right, thanks. If you got to the end of this, you're amazing. And if you're new here, subscribe, please. I do these every week, and you can leave comments of movies I should see. A lot of times I do this live on Twitch, so follow me on Twitch at Jamin is kinda cool. This time I didn't. I took too long to get this video out, so I couldn't really do it live, and it was gonna be a shorter one because I didn't have much to say about Home Team and then Steve Zissou. I had just a couple things to say, but all right, that's gonna do it. Thanks.